It's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking NFL rapid fire picks. We're going to go down the line and hopefully give you a bunch of winners for this week's slate. If you want 15% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net, just use the promo code TREAT, T-R-E-A-T. We've got Craig Trapp joining us to talk this week. Craig, we're starting with Saints at Bears. The Saints are favored -4. The total is 43.5. New Orleans is 4-2 on the year, 2-4 against the number, while Chicago is 5-2, a surprising 5-2, and 4-3 against the number. So who do you like here?
Well, tough outing last time out for the Bears, of course, losing on Monday Night Football, scoring 3 points with their offense. The other 7, of course, coming late with the fumble return for a touchdown. But the Saints, they didn't have Michael Thomas again this week or last week. It looks like he's questionable this week. But I do think when he's not there, the Saints got to use their short passing game. And I think that's going to be very effective against a Bears team that loves to put pressure against the quarterback. I like the Saints to cover, but I think my top play is going to be on the over at 43.5. Heck, I think Saints go for 30 by themselves. And I do think the Bears will open it up a little earlier this week because, when you play the Saints, you're going to have to score more points, and they're at home.
Right. The only issue I'd have with the over is maybe checking the weather because you know how Chicago can get. I think the low is supposed to be 29 degrees. So the only issue I have there, but it is a low number. I do like the Saints here, even though I have trust issues with both teams. The Saints because they haven't covered in 4 of their last 5. And I don't trust the Bears just simply because they're not a good team. And they certainly don't have a good offense. Nick Foles, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last game. And the Bears only rushed for 49 yards. As you mentioned, the Saints have that dink and dunk offense that is a little bit more trustworthy here, I think. Drew Brees might have a noodle arm, but I like him here as the Saints. I think they cover the number in that one. 49ers and Seahawks. Seahawks favored -3. The total is 54. The Hawks coming off their first loss of the season in that wild Sunday night game against the Cardinals, and the 49ers continue to do the most with the least, considering how many injuries they have. So, Craig, who do you like?
Well, the 49ers at least are starting to get guys back and starting to get healthy, and they've won 2 games in a row. The Rams was a really good win, obviously 2 games back. I don't know how good it is to beat New England at New England right now without the, obviously the huge home field edge that we would see normally in New England, and showing how bad Cam Newton and that offense has been. So to me, I think they're going to have to score a lot more this week. I think that's a problem for them. I'm going to take Seattle -3 in a comeback fashion. Seattle should have won and covered last week. They really let their foot off the gas late, and that's not like Pete Carroll. I don't think he does that 2 weeks in a row. So let's take Seattle -3.
Right. I like Seattle to score a lot of points here, and I like the over. Seattle's been 4-2 to the over, but their defense has been giving up 28 points per game. That's the only issue I have with the Seahawks. They are undefeated at home, so I like the over in that one. And a surprising trend I've noticed, underdogs in the NFC West, divisional games 3-0 straight up this season. So there might be some chaos in this one. So I don't really like a side. I do like the over. And then moving on to the Cowboys and the Eagles. Wow, what a game. The NFC East. What a division that's been. Eagles are favored -7.5. The total is 43.5 on the Sunday Night Football matchup. Craig, what's the play?
These are the kind of matchups that it seems like we've been getting on Thursday Night Football. So to have such a bad matchup, I mean, these teams together, 2-12 against the spread on the year. So tell me I have to lay 7.5 points with either team. I'm not looking forward to that. Cowboys offense hasn't been able to do anything, and Philly's defense actually is a little better than I think what even the numbers say. So I like the under 43.5. This Dallas team, what if they scored like 10 points in 2 weeks or something stupid? So let's take the under 43.5. Don't overthink this game. Don't try to play the side because this one is a very ugly matchup.
Right. I don't see how you pick a side at all. The Cowboys are 0-7 against the spread. They haven't covered a game at all this season, and I don't hate myself, so I'm not going to bet on this game. I don't bet on the NFC East because, it's how it goes. Colts and Lions. The Colts are favored -2.5. The total is 50. Indianapolis is 4-2 on the year, 3-3 against the number, while the Lions are riding a 2-game win streak, 3-3 straight up and against the number. So, Craig, what's the play?
Well, yeah, they're riding a 2-game win streak thanks to who they played. But, they had to struggle to beat a bad Atlanta team. I like the Colts here. The Colts are way more dependable on defense. Their defense is really, really good. I think the Colts, they can just keep from Phillip Rivers turning the ball over. But even those turnovers against the Bengals, they still gave them a 21-point lead and still came back and won. I'm going to take the Colts minus the 2.5 here. I think Indianapolis is the much more complete team on all three facets of the game.
Right. I don't love either of these teams, but the Colts seem to be the better team all around, better defense, allowing just 19 points per game. They haven't played the greatest of opponents, and they are coming off a bye week, so I do like them covering the short number here. Moving on to the Vikings and the Packers. The Pack is favored -7. The total is 51.5. The Packers are 5-1 straight up and against the number, while the Vikings are 1-5, 3-3 against the spread. Last meeting, the first game of the season was 43-34. The Packers winning that one. So, Craig, who do you like?
Well, I think this is going to be very similar to the first matchup. I think the Packers win easy, and I think they score lots of points. I think both teams score lots of points. So I do like the over at 51.5 and the Packers at 7. I think if you had to tell me we only get to choose one, I think I'm going to take the over at 51.5. I just think the Packers, 2 weeks back, they, against Tampa Bay, I think they were too much success early in the year. They kind of started believing too much in themselves. Bounced back last week. I think they carries over this week in division matchup. Let's take the over 51.5.
I'm right there with you on the over train because Minnesota giving up 32 points per game, and I wouldn't expect that to slow down here against Aaron Rodgers and company. The Packers have scored less than 30 points only once this season, and that was against a really good Bucs defense. Meanwhile, Dalvin Cook is also back for the Vikings, which should help their offense a little bit, and Devontae Adams continues to put up those monster numbers for the Packers. So I do like the over in that one as well. That's going to do it for our rapid fire picks here on Picks and Parlays. Good luck to everyone betting, and thanks for tuning in.